Rihanna is known for being fearless, a global superstar who built an empire through music, fashion, and beauty, all while commanding the stage with an unmatched presence. But even one of the most confident artists in the world has a story that chills her to this day. Few fans know that at the height of her fame, Rihanna bought a luxurious mansion in Los Angeles. A dream home, perched high above the city. But shortly after moving in, she started experiencing something she couldn't explain. Strange noises, unsettling presences, and, as she revealed in interviews, voices that left her terrified. This isn't just a story about a celebrity's haunted house. It's about how even the most glamorous lives can be haunted by the unknown, and how a megastar found herself fleeing her own mansion in fear. Tonight, we're uncovering the chilling story of Rihanna's spooky mansion and the voices that drove her out. In the early 2010s, Rihanna was everywhere. She'd released a string of massive hits: Umbrella, Rude Boy, We Found Love, and had transformed from an island girl from Barbados into a global icon. She was the face of fashion, the muse of designers, and one of the most photographed women in the world. With that success came the lifestyle of a superstar. Lavish parties, private jets, designer wardrobes, and, of course, real estate. In 2009, Rihanna reportedly purchased a sprawling mansion in Los Angeles for about $6.9 million. The property boasted more than 8,500 square feet, 8 bedrooms, 10 bathrooms, a pool, a home theater, and sweeping views of the city below. On paper, it was a dream, a fortress of luxury for a young superstar at the top of her game. But almost as soon as she moved in, Rihanna began to feel that something wasn't right. According to reports and later interviews, Rihanna began experiencing unusual things at the mansion almost immediately. Lights flickering on their own, doors closing when no one was there, strange cold spots in certain rooms. Most unsettling of all were the noises. At first, she dismissed them as the house settling, normal sounds for a large, older mansion. But over time, they became harder to ignore. She reportedly heard footsteps at night when she was alone, whispers echoing down empty hallways. Friends who stayed with her allegedly confirmed the odd atmosphere. Several guests described feeling watched in the house, as if unseen eyes were following them from room to room. Others claimed their phones and electronics would die unexpectedly or act strangely inside the mansion, batteries draining, calls dropping, or apps opening by themselves. It wasn't long before Rihanna started believing that the mansion was haunted. In a 2010 interview, Rihanna hinted at her discomfort, saying, "I moved into this beautiful house, but sometimes at night it doesn't feel like it's just me there." While she never publicly elaborated at the time, tabloid outlets began publishing stories about her haunted house, claiming she had called in spiritual advisors to cleanse the property. One source told The Sun that Rihanna swears she heard voices in the mansion. According to the story, she became so unnerved by the experiences that she refused to stay there alone and eventually moved out. For a woman who had endured public breakups, relentless paparazzi, and constant touring, it said something that this mansion scared her enough to abandon it. Part of the mansion's spooky aura may have come from its history. Built in the early 1990s, the property had reportedly changed owners multiple times in just a few years before Rihanna bought it. Some sources even claim the house had been the site of previous lawsuits and disputes between owners, hinting at bad energy lingering within its walls. While no widely documented violent crimes were linked to the mansion, real estate agents often whisper that some properties simply carry residual energy, especially ones where stressful events like foreclosures or lawsuits occurred. In Rihanna's case, her mansion was also extremely isolated, perched on a secluded hilltop with long, echoing hallways and floor-to-ceiling windows. For someone spending long nights alone after grueling tours, it's easy to see how the environment could amplify any feeling of unease. Tabloids at the time quoted unnamed friends of Rihanna saying she was creeped out by the house. One alleged she'd be sitting watching TV and swear she heard someone walking upstairs. We all joked it was a ghost, but she wasn't laughing. Another claimed that Rihanna had arranged for a spiritual cleansing of the property. Whether this was a priest, a psychic, or some other ritual wasn't clear, or it reportedly didn't help. The strange activity continued, and Rihanna grew more convinced she was not alone in the mansion. The stories grew more dramatic in the gossip press. Some articles suggested Rihanna woke up in the middle of the night to see a shadowy figure standing at the foot of her bed, though this remains unconfirmed. Others claimed she heard a woman's voice calling her name in the hallways. It's worth noting that Rihanna has never fully detailed these experiences publicly beyond brief comments. But the timeline fits. Shortly after moving in, she began complaining about the house. And within months, she had put the mansion back on the market. By 2011, Rihanna was embroiled in a lawsuit against the property's previous owners, alleging that the house had structural defects, including major water damage and mold. She won a settlement, but some fans speculate that the lawsuit was only part of the story. Perhaps the house wasn't just physically damaged, but spiritually tainted. Rihanna's time in the mansion was brief. She put the property up for sale not long after the lawsuit began and eventually sold it at a significant loss. While her team cited structural issues as the reason for leaving, the rumors of hauntings never went away. To this day, the mansion has changed hands several times, and its reputation remains shadowed by the story of Rihanna's experience there. Some local paranormal enthusiasts even list it as one of Los Angeles' modern, haunted celebrity homes, alongside the Beverly Hills mansion where Sharon Tate once lived and the hotel rooms Marilyn Monroe is said to haunt. Rihanna's story fits into a larger pattern of celebrities encountering the supernatural in their homes. Many stars, from Miley Cyrus to Adele, have spoken about strange experiences in mansions they've rented or bought. Miley Cyrus famously fled a London apartment after seeing a ghostly figure in the shower. Adele reportedly moved out of her own lavish mansion because of creepy noises and unexplained activity. These stories resonate because they reveal a rare vulnerability. Stars who seem untouchable by earthly problems find themselves shaken by something they can't control or explain. When news of Rihanna's haunted mansion hit the tabloids, fans were fascinated. Social media buzzed with theories about what she might have experienced. Some suggested the house was built on cursed land, others that a spirit had attached itself to her during one of her tours and followed her home. A few skeptics accused her of using the haunted house story as a way to generate headlines or as a metaphor for a bad real estate purchase. But for many fans, the idea of Rihanna, fierce, bold Rihanna, being afraid of ghosts only made her more relatable. Imagine Rihanna running out of her mansion because of a ghost, one fan tweeted at the time. She's just like us. Another theory floated by paranormal researchers is that celebrities themselves can amplify paranormal activity. The enormous energy surrounding a global star, the emotions of millions of fans, the intensity of touring, the highs and lows of fame, might act like a magnet for residual energies or entities. If you believe in such things, Rihanna's mansion may have been less the source of the haunting and more a stage on which something already following her could manifest. Today, Rihanna lives a far different life. She's a billionaire mogul with Fenty Beauty, Savage X Fenty, and a growing family. She splits her time between various properties and appears far more grounded and private than she was during the whirlwind early years of her fame. She's never returned to the haunted mansion, nor has she publicly revisited the story of the voices she heard there. But for fans of the supernatural, that mansion remains an enduring mystery. What did Rihanna hear inside those walls? And did it really drive her out? The story of Rihanna's spooky mansion is more than just a celebrity anecdote. It's a reminder that no matter how rich, famous, or powerful you are, there are things in this world, or perhaps the next, that can still shake you to your core. Whether it was ghosts, bad vibes, or simply the stress of fame, Rihanna's experience in that house has become part of her legend, whispered about in the same breath as her biggest hits. The mansion still stands, quiet and imposing, a monument to a mystery only Rihanna can truly explain. And somewhere in Los Angeles, under a different roof, one of the world's biggest stars now sleeps soundly, far from the voices she once heard in the night. Because even in Hollywood, not all haunted stories are fiction. Some are lived and left behind.